They say mirrors never lie. But what if one showed you how you die? This is the story of Rosemary and Amanda, two best friends who should have never looked into the reflection. Rosemary was just your average high school girl in Canada. Smart, funny, and inseparable from her best friend Amanda. One morning, their biology teacher announced a surprise school trip to the countryside. Everyone cheered. Fresh air, no classes, what could go wrong? They had no idea. They were heading straight into a nightmare. The next day, the bus drove them deep into the woods, far from the city, far from safety. The plan was simple: explore a nature trail and collect plant samples. But somewhere along the way, Rosemary and Amanda started talking. And talking. Until they realized the voices of their classmates were gone. They'd taken a wrong turn. The woods grew darker. The air colder. No cell signal. No sounds, except the crunch of their shoes on dead leaves. After an hour of wandering, they spotted a narrow path leading to a small, forgotten cottage hidden behind overgrown ivy. Relieved, they ran toward it. When they knocked, the door creaked open, revealing a frail old woman. Her back was bent, her skin pale as ash. "Lost, are you?" she asked softly. They nodded, asking if she had a phone. The old woman smiled. "Of course, dear. Come inside. But first, when I leave the room, keep your eyes closed." The girls hesitated but stepped inside. The air smelled of rot. The floor was muddy, the fireplace black with soot. The woman disappeared into the kitchen, leaving them alone. Amanda whispered, "Why did she say that?" Rosemary shrugged, glancing around, until she noticed a mirror standing in the corner. Tall. Old. Covered in grime. And then something strange. Their reflections didn't move the same way they did. At first, they smiled, but their reflections didn't. Then the faces in the mirror began to change, faint scratches appeared on their cheeks. Amanda gasped. "What the hell?" Rosemary couldn't look away. The scratches deepened. Blood appeared. And still, their real faces were untouched. Their reflections began to bleed. The bruises spread. Bones bent. Amanda's reflection suddenly showed a knife sticking out of her eye. Rosemary's face, crushed and broken. They screamed, covering their eyes. At that exact moment, the old woman rushed in, shouting, "I told you to keep your eyes closed." The girls bolted out of the cottage, tears streaming, hearts pounding. Branches ripped at their skin as they ran, no idea which way led home. Then, through the trees, they saw it, the yellow school bus, waiting in the distance. They ran like their lives depended on it. Maybe they did. Their teacher scolded them for disappearing for over an hour. But the girls barely heard him. They sat silently, staring out the window as the cottage faded behind the trees. By morning, they tried to laugh it off. Maybe it was just their imagination. Right? But 1 week later, the laughter stopped. That morning, Rosemary's mother found her daughter lying cold in her bed, her sheets soaked in blood. Across town, Amanda's parents screamed the same way. Both girls dead. Bodies covered in scratches, bruises, and deep, open wounds, exactly where their reflections had been injured. The police couldn't explain it. No signs of forced entry. But neighbors swear, on that night, they saw two faint figures reflected in their windows. Two girls. Staring. So next time you pass a mirror, if your reflection doesn't smile back, don't wait to find out why. Because sometimes, the reflection isn't yours anymore.